There's something about the quiet, the way it wraps around you, sinks into your bones. People think loneliness is about being alone, but it's not, is it? It's being surrounded by faces, by noise, by life, and yet still feeling unseen, unheard, forgotten. You ever wake up and feel nothing? Not sadness, not anger, not even pain, just nothing. Like the world is moving in fast forward and you're stuck, frozen in place, screaming in silence. But no one looks, no one hears, and after a while, you stop trying. You tell yourself, this is just how it is, this is just how I am. And that voice in your head, the one whispering, you're not enough, that no one would notice if you were gone. It starts to sound like the truth. People say, talk to someone, reach out. But what if you have? What if you have over and over and no one listens? Or worse, they listen, but they don't hear you. They nod, they offer empty words, and then they move on. And you're still there, still drowning, still fighting. A war no one can see. You start to wonder, what's the point? Why keep fighting? Why keep holding on when every day feels heavier than the last? But listen to me, please. That voice is a liar. It tells you no one cares. But I swear to you, someone does. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a stranger. Maybe it's someone you haven't even met yet. But they care. They need you here. And I know how it feels. And it feels impossible. Like the pain will never end. But I promise you, it'll get better. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you'll wake up and the weight won't be so heavy. One day you'll laugh without forcing it. One day you'll see the sunrise. And for the first time in a long time, you will feel something again. So stay, please stay. Stay for the person who hasn't met you yet. For the story that hasn't been written. For the love you haven't felt. For the moments that you haven't lived. Stay because you deserve to. And if no one has told you today, I'm glad you're here. Now, I want to share something deeply personal. You see, everything that I speak about, I have lived through. I have felt it. I have endured it. During the pandemic, my eldest child, who I refer to as they and them because they are gender fluid, and this is something I support and I'm behind 100%. They began to suffer from severe mental health struggles. They were bullied at school, and I fought fiercely to protect them. I warned the school, if this doesn't stop, I will take matters into my own hands because when it comes to my kids, to the people I love, I become a shield, a guardian. Hell hath no fury like a parent watching their child suffer. Then, one day, after a vaccine, they became lightheaded. I turned for a second, and then they collapsed, hitting the ground with a sickening thud that haunts me to this day. The hospital tests came back clear, but a concussion lingered. I thought we made it. I thought we were okay. I was wrong. Weeks later, I received a call. They had been cutting. They had suicidal thoughts. They were rushed to the hospital, the very place where I worked. The staff knew me. They acted fast, prepping a room, but nothing could prepare me for what came next. When the doctor asked them if they truly wanted to die, they said yes. They stripped the room bare, took their clothes, gave them a hospital gown. It was protocol. But to me, it was watching my world collapse, watching my child become a patient in a place I never wanted them to be. And in that moment, I felt like I had failed them. I felt like I was the one drowning. For days, they were distant, empty. When I visited, they wouldn't even look at me. When I hugged them, they didn't hug me back. And when I left, I drove home in silence, tears blurring my vision, my heart breaking over and over again. And so I did the only thing I could think of. I prayed harder than I ever had in my life. And then, little by little, they came back. The visits became lighter. We laughed, we cried, and finally, one day, when I hugged them, they hugged me back. I fought for them. When they were given false hope about their release, I fought harder, and I demanded their discharge. And I refused to leave until they were safely in my arms again. When they walked out, I held them so tightly, I thought my heart might burst. I vowed to never let them go through this alone again. Today, they are thriving, off the medications that did more harm than good, healing, living here. Because here's the thing, suicide just doesn't take a life, it shatters the lives left behind. You are not alone. And if you're struggling, help is available. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Visit 988lifeline.org for free confidential support 24/7. You matter. Your story isn't over.